8. Right on that, yeah, I think that's episode 8. Yo, hello. What up, okay? Yo, homies is joining. What's up, everybody? What's up, Steven? What's up, C's? All right, man, we got everybody in the building, or everybody that I need so far, so let's go ahead and start up. Welcome to episode 8. Yeah, it's episode 8 of Chop 15 with Jay Walker. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get right to it. My guest is here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him on pretty soon. But I met this guy in 2014 when I moved back to the Bay Area. My first job after getting out of school. I was applying for music jobs, and I was determined not to have a job that wasn't with my degree. And I got called back for the Academy of Art, and I go in there, and I'm late as all hell, and these dudes are super cool, and Roger was one of them. Buck Rogers, producer, MC, my homie, and let me pull him in, man.
What up, man?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Touchdown.
Man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Real good, man. Good to talk to you, man. Thank you for making time to talk to me for a minute, man. I haven't got a chance to chop it up with you in a minute.
Yeah, this is basically one of the reasons I signed up, so I could just talk to you for a bit.
Exactly, man. So how you been?
Not too bad, I mean, despite, the world global pandemic going on, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Can't complain, for sure.
How is are you still working at Skyline?
Yeah, still working at Skyline, working from home, currently working from home right now. So my days are kind of crazy. It's like 24-hour days. You're on and off, right? Like it could be 3 a.m. and I wake up just randomly and I see an email. And I'm just like answering emails and,
So what do you do up there now?
I am the multimedia services coordinator there.
Okay.
So, basically I supported all classroom technology and all the events on campus, then handled all procurement for new equipment and other technology related things. Yeah.
So how is it different doing your job from home as it is to being on campus?
Pretty much like huge difference, right?
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not supporting classes, firsthand support or throwing any, supporting any events. So a lot, like basically 80% of my time is supporting webinars and Zoom calls and how to set up webinars and just kind of, training faculty and staff on, all the ins and outs on how to prepare for their webinars and just all the fun stuff.
Okay, yeah, you're basically teaching everybody Zoom.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I was doing in my last job. I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, so how is life in quarantine for you? Like, what's your day like on a day-to-day basis? You said it was 24 hours, so like, what's your day like?
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm not doing work, answering emails and supporting, I'm trying to, either I'm cooking or I'm trying to do something creatively, whether it's just making beats or looking up samples, listening to music, studying, studying people on IG.
Yeah.
Seeing what's awesome out there, trying to kind of like, be on other people's levels and learning a lot, especially, learning tons, just like literally just going through IG, just hearing other people's music and their process and their techniques, always a student,
Gotta be, man. And you've been doing this for a while, man. How long you been making music?
I mean, I guess since high school, since the early 90s, like we put out, me and my friend Aaron back in the day, we recorded like an album on a karaoke machine. So
that's awesome. My first thing I ever did was on a karaoke machine. I feel you, dog.
Yeah, and we sold out. We sold out our all merchandise, all 10 tapes. We sold out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much early '90s, pretty much high school, just rapping, like getting with people that do are into the same music that you are into. Back then, it was all like radio. You would listen to the radio for what's new or what's hot. Obviously, there was no social media, so you kind of just everything was underground. I mean, well, you had the rap music on the radio, then like you truly had like underground music, like coming literally from the streets, like people selling tapes off their trunk. I grew up in like Redwood City, born in San Francisco, grew up in Redwood City, so EPA was like down the way, so you had a lot of cats down there just like hustling and selling their tapes out the trunk.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So let me see, where was I gonna go next with you, man? So, man, what was your introduction into producing?
I would say late '80s. I had like I had birthday money, and this is like during like when I think NWA Straight Outta Compton came out. My mom took me to the mall, Hillsdale Mall in San Mateo.
Yes.
And I think I had like $50, so like $10 was used to buy Straight Outta Compton. Then Macy's had a sale. Back then they had like an electronics department, and they had this like Yamaha keyboard. Actually, I still have it. It's in my closet over there right now. It has like 3 second sampling time, or it was 2 seconds. Then you could tweak it out to do up to 3 second sampling time. So I would use the karaoke machine, which had like a pitch control, and just loop things up.
Dude, crazy, man. It's so crazy how we end up starting at this shit, right?
Yeah, right. Like now everyone can have like a full-on studio in their pockets on their phones, right?
Man, yeah. I remember the first time trying to record something, the old headphone trick, taking the headphone for the microphone jack. Yeah, that was the first time I recorded something. So, I mean, it's definitely come a long way. These kids start now, they can just start straight with a whole setup.
Yeah, instantly. Not even have to buy an audio interface. Now you have to even buy the software. They could just download whatever software they want, start cranking out beats literally like in a day. So
yeah, that's the crazy thing about it now, man. So yeah, that's the game now, man. We've seen this shit all happen. That's the crazy growing up.
Yeah, for sure,
man. So MCing now. Now with the MCing thing, I always wanted to talk to you about this because we used to talk at work, but I mean, I always wanted to let you know, like, I love watching your videos and anything you post because you genuinely look so fucking happy when you're making music, bro.
Oh, for sure.
You have like the most happy face, like I'm in my comfort zone. I'm in my place. Like nothing can bother me right now. I love that. You've always had that good energy, man. And is that just from the love of music?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's probably the most happiest I ever would be, is just like doing music, especially like performing and rapping. That's super fun. Because you're out there, you're on stage, you're performing, or when you're with your friends, just rapping, and it's just having a good time basically. So I'm glad that I'm able to kind of express that, through like video and audio.
No, yeah, you totally do. That's that definitely jumps off the screen when I see your stuff. Now, why I did try to look up some of your music on streaming services, and you have the one single. I remember when you dropped that a couple of years ago. Do you have projects, right? You have like a catalog and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have projects here and there, definitely. Like, yeah, I mean, not too much online, but I mean, I have future projects I'll definitely release online. But I do have. I mean, I've worked with a bunch of cats back in the day, and still working with the same guys now. Like Universal Figures was a group that I used to work a lot with. That's kind of like the crew that I was in. I would say we were the West Coast Wu-Tang at that time. It was like 7 MCs and a producer. My homeboy John Cale produced all our beats. I mean, we came up like back in mid to late '90s. It was like our logo. We did like our first show was Woo-Ha at Davis. Remember that? Remember they used to do Woo-Ha at Davis, like that hip hop. Yeah, it was like back in like the mid to late 90s time.
Yeah,
So,
I heard I wasn't in that area at that time. I didn't move to Sac until '97,
oh, okay,
but
for
I
sure.
remember my friends telling me about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So just, been working with them. We're actually, I mean, this was technically our 20-year anniversary, and still plan to release the whole our first album on Spotify and all streaming platforms. And we're supposed to have like a 20-year anniversary kind of like show, but this definitely postponed due to COVID. Maybe it'll be some sort of special way we can celebrate it via Zoom or online before
Yeah.
we can start performing.
Yeah, this has definitely put a damper on a lot of people's projects and movements, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I have another project, another solo project I do with a good friend of mine, Specs. So it's called City to the Shores. It's not actually on YouTube. The whole album's on YouTube. I'll shoot you the link after this. It's actually probably like lyrically and production wise, it's probably the project that I've done till this day that I'm really, really happy with.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll shoot you the link or
That's your
whatnot.
one, huh? That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. That's what's up, man. So I see that record collection back there, man. How deep is that?
It was 40 crates. I think it's about, let's see, 25 plus 8. I think it's about 33 crates right now, or 33 squares.
Okay.
So I got 25 here, and I got like eight squares in my bedroom. But yeah, I had to kind of downsize when I was moving, and definitely got a good workout, transferring my records from one spot to the other.
I love my vinyl too, man. But
Yeah.
and that shit's a bitch to move.
Yeah.
Bitch to move around. As long as it's somewhere and you got it in that place, it's the best ever. But when it's time to move,
Yeah.
like when I moved a couple months ago, oh man, that was the worst shit ever. Lugging that vinyl, man. But it's worth having it though.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, when I was moving, like I found like empty record sleeves and like records with, like records without the sleeves, and I'm still trying to find the right records in the sleeves till this day. So, but anyhow, whatever.
Crazy. Man, so what's your best memory of working at the Academy of Art?
Just hanging out with you guys, basically. Just talking shop, basically. And it was crazy at that time. I was at a time where I was learning Ableton Live. So I wasn't really creating anything. Like I was working, and like by the time I would go home, I wouldn't make that much music on the MPC. But
Mhm.
just watching, hanging out with you and Daryl, Tyler, Austin, all the whole
Yeah,
gang. It was just, because we're all creatives. We all more or less kind of, produced in the same way, like using more or less the same software, and just
yeah,
kind of had like similar backgrounds more or less, because we're producers and music heads as well. So that was basically the highlight of, and just like buying all the gear for all the labs in the studios and putting together the studios was pretty fun. Definitely,
yeah.
I was thinking, man, should I just go there and be a lab assistant and go back?
Man, yeah, it definitely changed once you and Tyler left. We were lucky that Marshall came in and was
Oh
cool,
yeah, for
but
sure.
it
Yeah, yeah.
super it was kind of weird at first because you guys hired me and I was like, man, my guys are gone, man, my guys are out. But I totally understood. The longer I was there, I totally understood why you guys pieced the fuck out, dude.
And it was crazy because, like, I mean, I didn't really hear much of your music till I left.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, I was like, damn, we didn't really get to connect on that level. So I just kind of was like, oh yeah, just talk music, but
Yeah,
not like, oh, what our projects were. But I remember you came in like on a Saturday or like on a Friday on your off day, and you had like some camo pants and some Tims. I was like, man, I was like, man, you ready to go to a show tonight or something like that? I was like, oh yeah.
oh man, yeah, you got to tone it down at work.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Man. Oh shit! What else, man? What else? Anything? So do you have anything you're working on that you're got coming out soon, or
Yeah, I mean,
when
I would say,
everything drops? Or
yeah, yeah. I don't know exact dates, but definitely working on a mixtape right now, just a beat tape. Beats that I've just been having like on deck for the past couple of years. Gonna put that all like on a beat tape. Probably have, like it might be called Life's a Trip. So there'll be like, you know, Life's a Trip 1, Part 2, Part 3, like a
Hear
trilogy. You
that,
know what I'm saying?
like that. Yeah.
Then like basically when you play them all together at once, it'll be like one big mix. You know, so that's kind of like what I'm working on. You know, hopefully I'll drop Part 1. I will drop Part 1 this summer. You
There you
know,
go. Yeah. Don't say hopefully.
yeah,
I will.
yeah, yeah.
In
We'll
the
do
universe,
it.
you'll do it.
Yeah, for the universe. So summer Part 1, fall Part 2, and winter will be Part 3.
Nice. I'm definitely looking forward to that, man. Because like I said, I like your beat videos, and it was a question I've been wanting to ask you too about the because you use Ableton, so you're using the push, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, how does that work? Because I see so many buttons on there, and I'm like, how do you know what's on what? Is it
That's a good
broken into
question.
4 sections, or how does
Yeah,
it work?
so it all depends. It all depends how you configure the pad, right? So let's say if you had a drum, you know, just drums, then you could have it into, you know, 4x4, like a traditional drum pad, or you could have them, you could assign them to all the pads. So you could have drums, you know, on all the pads, or with like playing melodies, that was like a tricky thing for me to figure out because it's like I'm used to seeing like a keyboard, right? You know, like you know where the black notes are, you know where the white notes are, you know where middle C is, you know where like but with that it was a kind of adjustment. So another kind of like cool trick is like you could uh you could designate the pads to be like in a certain scale. So
Oh,
like if you wanted like all minor keys, all the keys that you see lit up will be all minor keys.
oh,
Or like for me, like I mean, pro tip, like I've been doing a lot of like blues scale. So I would like just hit blues scale, so all the keys would be in the blues scale.
oh.
Yeah, so like I mean, it's not like, but with that said, like my nephew let me borrow his complete keyboard.
Hmm.
So like I've been, you know, from there just learning more or less the tones and the sounds of like let's say a blues scale. I've been able to kind of like learn the blues scale, you know, with the keyboard, just kind of hearing the sounds and kind of just say, okay, what keys are in the blues scale? And I would see the notes would light up. Then I would just practice, you know, practice solos on the keyboard. So it's definitely a nice trick and a nice hack, but at the same time, it's nice to able to apply it on like an actual keyboard.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've heard
Yeah,
good about those complete keyboards. Everybody who has one swears by them, dude. Like
yeah, it's
I don't,
nice. It's nice.
but yeah, I'm still using my old Academy throwaway one.
Hell yeah, yeah. Was it the Novation, right? Was it the Novation one?
The Axiom, the
Oh,
64.
nice.
I got a 64 before, or a 61 before they threw it away. I was like, no, give me that.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I still got a lot of Academy gear in my studio. I love Academy. Shouts out to the Academy.
The benefits, you know what I mean? Benefits. Definitely benefits of working at an institution, right? You know, especially in the music, you know, the music department.
Yes, yes. Cause shit, I got my interface. I got one of those 003s because they got the new computers and Pro Tools wasn't
Mm-hmm.
using it no more. They're like, yeah, we're just throwing these away. I'm like, Marshall, you're gonna throw that away? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, my computer still uses that, man. I could use that right now. He,
Hell yeah. Nice.
take it. I was like, cool. Oh, what's up, Austin? I see Austin on here. We got some Academy folks. Steven,
Nice.
Austin,
We
making it
got
back.
we got more music in the house.
Yep. Man, yeah, those are good days, man. Those are definitely good days. That was a great job for me to come back from LA too.
Mm.
So I definitely appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity for that, man. If
Oh, for
not,
sure,
shit, I
man.
would have never met you, Steven, Austin, Daryl, Tyler, Marshall, Jesse. Like,
Yeah.
we had a crew, man. We were tight, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was
You
fun.
know,
It was
so,
definitely fun. And I miss like, you know, just going out and having drinks after. And it was like literally like in downtown. So it's like, you know, even though, you know, you're working a 9 to 5, like, you know, you go out, you just, you know, you just feel the activity of the city and you just go out and just, you know, people watch and all that good stuff.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, shit, we are around 15, bro. I
Cool,
knew,
man.
I
Hey,
knew it was going to be easy because, shit, I haven't talked to you in so long, and I just wanted to ask you questions for a while that I haven't. So it was really easy for me to come up with questions for you because I just had a bunch of stuff off the top of my head. So,
definitely, man. Like, I mean, like for me, I have like a bunch of questions for you, but that'll probably be for my own thing, I guess.
okay,
My
no,
15
no,
minutes.
well, ask me something. What? I mean, shit, we're
No,
here.
I'm just yeah. So like, okay, I know I do research right on my end as well. And I know that you have like some connections with the Cuff, right?
Yes, yes, those are my brothers, bro. Those are
Yeah,
my
yeah. Because I was
brothers.
like, yeah, because like I can't believe we never crossed paths like in the late 90s because, you know, I mean, they would do shows
I
while, you know,
stuck with them until 2001.
okay,
So I
2001.
was like,
Okay.
when I lived in Sacramento, I didn't start rapping in Sacramento until about like 2000. And
Okay.
I ended up doing a battle in 2001. That was actually, it was a Cuff album release party. And
Okay.
I did
Dope.
the
Dope.
battle, and that's how I met them that night. And then
Hmm.
they told me, like, come to the studio, like on Tuesday, come to the studio. We practice on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
boy that I battled, we ended up becoming best friends. I had him on last Friday, and then he
Nice.
took
Nice.
me to their practice, and I've been friends ever since.
Okay.
Fun fact, I'm working on a project with Pete B's son right now.
Okay. Oh, oh,
Yeah,
wow. Damn.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I'm working on, me and him are working real close right now, but we're about to put out another single in about a week or two. So,
Dope, dope. Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that you've been putting out, it's fire, man. Like, I like the one where like you're out in the desert and like you had like the peace and
oh
everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was pretty. That was a dope ass video.
That was the most movie video I've ever shot. Like
Dude,
I shot
that
like
was super
crew and
legit,
everything.
man.
It
That
was
was
pretty dope.
super legit. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And I mean, could I ask you how's like what's your routine and you know being a creative and being in quarantine? Like, how's everything for you? Like,
Actually, it's actually been good for me, man. You know, like most people that are in the studio all the time, like it doesn't really affect. Like all my producer friends are like pretty much this is the same shit I always do anyway. I'm always at home. But
exactly,
when
exactly.
when I moved out here, I've been starting my own business. So I've been doing freelance work. I've been doing freelance video work for a friend. So
Hmm.
I was doing that, but not all the time. So I've been home a lot even before this went
Hmm.
down. And once I stopped going out, it was just okay. Now I get to make music every day, 24/7, all the time. So I've just been working on stuff, man. Just trying to stay creative and just putting together a list of projects and just trying to knock them out one by one.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's something I need a little to be a little bit better at doing is just executing, right? You know, you have your idea, you have your list of projects, then executing, right? That's just
Yeah,
you always just for me, I was just caught in just creating and creating because that's just like that's the funnest part,
I have
right?
to stop myself, dude. I really have to stop myself. I'm like, all right, I'm supposed to be finishing something. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be finishing something.
For
Yes,
sure.
Stephen, we do all need to do something. That is definitely true. We
Oh
do
hell yeah, hell yeah.
do something. That would be amazing.
Shout out to Specs. He just joined the room right now.
Word,
Um, but
word.
yeah, like, okay, I have one more question. One
All
more
good.
question. So, okay, so I mean, I'm gonna use definitely your tracks, your basically your latest joints as like references. Like when I start, you know, when I start doing my mixes, like you know, mixing
Okay.
references and
Oh,
stuff. So, what's your process? Do you, I mean, you use the machine? Then do you go to do you like you know do you go to Pro Tools and then you know mix and master from there, or just like what's? Could I ask you, you know, what's
no,
more or
yeah.
less yeah your
So
workflow?
yeah, so I use Machine to for beats. I also make beats in Logic, and I just
Mm,
recently started using Reason.
okay,
Now
okay.
I'm recording and mixing in Logic now because Pro Tools I had to update my computer and then I lost all of my Wave plugins, so
Mm,
I
mm,
went back to
mm,
Logic because I
mm,
need
mm.
plugins.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
I went
such a
back to
hassle.
yeah, I went back to Logic, and I've been so basically what I do is I usually create in Machine, or you can use Machine as a plugin in Logic. So say if I want to
Mm,
use in Logic, I can use that shit, and then I like to do my drums in Machine. I
mhm,
like
mhm.
banging them out on the pads and stuff. So
Yeah.
I like to do my shit on the pads, and then I don't mix in Machine. I track everything out. I bring it into Logic, then that's when I go into my mix part. You know, so
Okay. Okay. For sure. For sure. But yeah, I mean, your mixes and the joints that you put out super clean. I mean, just even just like
thank
the sound selection just makes you know just the whole track just really sound like punchy and just really super clean, man. So like I said, I'm using your beats as like reference mixes when I
you.
start mixing my stuff down.
The engineer in me is so happy to hear you say that, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
That
oh
means I'm
yeah.
doing something right. Okay,
Oh
that's good.
no, you're doing everything right.
Man, so good to talk to you, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, thanks for putting me on, and let me know if you need anything, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
We need to just have like a FaceTime beat session. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah,
just
for sure.
so give me. I don't know if I still have your number or not. My number's
Okay.
still the same. I don't know if you have mine still, but it's still the same. So
Okay, for sure, for sure.
I'll check my phone right now and text you whatever. But text me that album you said you wanted to show me.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Most
All
definitely.
right, man.
Hey,
Thank you for joining.
take care. Stay healthy and safe, and I'll see you soon, man.
Same to you, bro.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Man, there was a lot of viewers today, man. It seems like the viewer count's going up. I appreciate all of you guys for taking time out of your afternoon to hang out with me for a minute. I want to thank my boy Roger, aka Buck Rogers, for a great interview. It was nice to catch up with him. I haven't talked to him in a minute. Tomorrow, my schedule is so crazy, I'm forgetting. I have, speaking of the cuff, I have second generation cuff. One of my artists that I've been working with really, really tough. My nephew, Sully Bowl. He'll be on tomorrow. So that's gonna be a good one. Oh, what's up, Sarah? You joined at the last minute. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in and thank you guys for following along. I really, really appreciate it. It's just an idea I had, and now we're 8 days in and it's gaining momentum. So thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is late, 9 o'clock. So I'll see you guys then, and have a good one. Peace.